16-bit themes, laying it down. Somebody's gonna get their box opened. Somebody's gonna get their tape split. Somebody's gonna get their box opened. Somebody's gonna get their tape split. Yeah! Open up, give me stuff, open up, give me stuff. Yeah! Shadaloo up in this mug. Street Fighter 2 Hyper Edition.
Hey guys, this is Chase. I'm that guy with the gloves. And today, this is the very first episode of The Hall of Pain. This is my version of mail call or like a mail haul type video, unboxings and whatnot. So that's what we got going on here. I usually buy all of my products from either Amazon, eBay, or Ringside Collectibles. You can follow me on all of my social media accounts right there. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So, what's the first figure that's going to enter the Hall of Pain? And the first figure is the defining moment, John Cena. Seen this one at Toys R Us a few times, and I decided to pass on it. I just wasn't a fan of how that rubber shirt looked, and I'm not happy with how they painted on the armband. I wish it was made out of rubber so you can take it off and put it on other figures and whatnot. And again, I wasn't going to pay $24.99 for it because I don't think this is worth the defining moment's asking price. But I found it on Amazon for $14 about a month ago before I moved. So I just decided to go ahead and pick this bad boy up. And I gotta say, this one is not a bad looking figure. I do think that looks a lot like John Cena. It still looks more like an older version of John Cena with some new hair and stuff like that. And again, just really not a fan of this rubber shirt. Why couldn't they give us a cloth jersey like how he's supposed to have? And the rest of the figure I think looks cool. And the packaging inside I think is pretty awesome as well. Now it says, on the side it says Basic Thugonomics. It's got Word Life on the other one, and it's got just sort of that like jersey print, like a basketball jersey print and stuff like that, or texture to it. And it's got his Thugonomics chain wrapping around the back and whatnot. Now it says here that this is supposed to be a figure based off of his Best of 5 series with Booker T, which was pretty awesome to witness. I got to see him take on Booker T on an episode of SmackDown, and he won. It was one of the SmackDowns right before the pay-per-view, which I think was No Mercy. So that was pretty awesome to see. Here we have the box turned into its display stand, and I really, really love the way this thing looks. It's got the Word Life Basic Thugonomics written on the jersey print. You got the Word Life chain right there. And then, you just take John Cena, you stand him right up there. He looks pretty badass. But I don't plan on giving this figure a full review, so let's go ahead and talk about him right now. I've seen some bad painted face sculpts of this, and this one I think looks pretty good. I do see a resemblance to John Cena. I just don't think it's a young John Cena, like I said. I like the way the visor is tilted to the side, it's got that hip-hop look to it, and it looks pretty damn good as far as I'm concerned. I like what they're doing with the hair. I think it looks pretty good. Like the crossfading. Let's take that off. Like the crossfading looks good, and it's a little bit longer than what you're probably used to seeing because John Cena had longer hair in 2004. Damn it. Will the exposure just stop changing on my camera? Jesus. This chain accessory, I really like that. I just kind of wish they could have added a little bit of yellow paint to the bottom of it. This molded on jersey is a complete fail. They should have given us a cloth jersey. Not only that, it's the one with the circle pegs on it. These things absolutely suck ass. Why didn't they have the longer pegs that have been on like the DX shirts and whatnot of recent memory? This is BS, man. And there's like no design to it. It just says 54 on the front and the back. There's no chain gang or anything like that. Yeah, this whole thing just sucks. In fact, I want it off this figure right now.
You just made the list!
And like I said, I'm not a fan of the painted on armband. I prefer it to be molded or to have the rubber one. But it looks good. I won't lie. The Word Life looks good on it too. It looks good on the wristbands. And I'm totally digging the Word Life brass knuckles. They look awesome. His boxers have a trim that have Word Life written all across it, and they have his it has the classic WWE look logo thing on there, but again, it stood for Word Life. But it was just kind of cool that John Cena's ring gear had that before WWE adopted it, because they had to get rid of the old WWF logo. He's got some jorts on that look pretty good. He's got some knee pads poking out. Now, his flesh tone is painted on. That's because the jean color seems to be the dominant color on here. The knee pads are painted black. So it's not easy to spot, but if you're looking hard enough, you can tell. And he's got some pumps going on down here, looking pretty good. I don't know if they're traditional pumps, though. I mean, it looks like they got laces on here, so maybe they're high tops. I have to say, these are really awesome. They're probably my favorite shoes that Mattel have made for John Cena, other than the pumps that he had for his first defining moments, but these do look really good. So overall, it's not that bad of a figure. It's just definitely not worth the $24.99 that the defining moments asked for. I'm just not a fan of this damn molded on jersey. It looks terrible. I've grown to like that face sculpt. It's not as bad as I originally thought it was. Again, I wish they could have had the rubber armband instead, but pretty much everything else about this figure I do like. It would have been nice if he could have came with a US title or the US spinner belt, but for what you do get, it's pretty good. Just try to find it on sale. Don't try to find it for $24.99. But again, that's just my opinion. All right, who's our next contestant on the Hall of Pain? Why, it's one half of the Dudley boys. It is Devon Dudley. Now, I do plan on giving this figure the full review treatment, so there won't be much to talk about on here, other than I am actually really, really happy with how these Dudley boys turned out. And, oh, wait a minute. Hang on. There seems to be another figure in the box. Yep. And, oh, look at that. It's the other half of the Dudley boys. It's Bubba Ray Dudley. This figure has a little controversy going with it. A lot of people were not happy with the size of the arms, and I would agree. They do look super long for his body and maybe just a little too buff. But everything else about this figure I really do like. The face sculpt looks awesome. So, God, cannot wait to open these up and get the tables. Okay, so up next are a couple of loose figures. One I got from eBay, another one I got from Amazon, and I did actually shoot a review for it, but it was kind of bad. My camera's kind of messing up lately, so I'm getting a new one. But anyway, let's take a look at what figures we got. And what the hell? I'm sorry you had to see that. That was unpleasant. I was not expecting that. Anywho, let's get on to the figures. All right, so the first figure we got from Amazon is the basic Naomi. This is the new version of her that just came out with her Team Bad attire. And I like the face sculpt. I just wish the paint job on it was as good as what we saw at San Diego Comic-Con. This one, sadly, it still looks like her, but the eyes are really off, and one of them is kind of a little cockeyed. It's a little over to the left or to the right more than it should be. The lips look good. The hair looks great. Her attire looks really awesome with this like bandana print. It's not painted as well though when it comes to the wrists. You can kind of see that the bandana, the like white design goes off of the black area. So it just doesn't look very good, but I don't know. Of course, this is a basic. Now, I've been trying to figure out what is wrong with her legs the whole time I've been trying to pose her and stuff like that. And I don't know how this happened, but it looks like she has two left legs. I cannot get this right leg to line up correctly. And looking at it, it looks exactly like the left leg. How in the hell did this happen? And I thought about returning it to Amazon, but I don't have the original packaging anymore, so I don't know if they'll do it. So I'm going to reach out to them and see if they can, because this is ridiculous, man. And again, it's not the best painted as well, because you can see that the flesh tone where her boots are and stuff like that, or her socks, they're not painted on that well, and you can see it fading. Whereas the left leg over here looks pretty damn good. The trim on her shoes look awesome, though, how they kind of are supposed to resemble her glowing raver shoes and stuff like that, or the soles of her shoes. And again, I like the bandana stuff on here, but what the hell is this? This is just really weird. I've never had that happen before. I mean, I kept thinking, no, I gotta be wrong or something, but no, I keep trying to line them up, and it's just not happening. So yeah,
You just made the list!
So yeah, that is just really weird. My other big gripe with this figure, she has no booty. She barely has any booty. Come on, Naomi's biggest asset, haha, or at least one of her best assets, is that she is rocking a giant badonk, and I just don't see it with this figure. Such a shame.
You just made the list!
And you dirty sex fiend.
You just made the list!
Keep your hands off another man's woman. Anywho, this is the Legend Series Ravishing Rick Rude. Decided to get this one over getting the Elite 40, seeing as how a lot of people were saying the Elite 40 Rick Rude had a defect where the hips would break. This is when Rick Rude chopped off his curly mullet and wanted to be taken a little bit more seriously, but still rocking this badass robe saying Simply Ravishing in gold, and the gold glitter everywhere looks awesome. The trim of it's pretty cool. He's got his Popeye-ish anchor tattoo right here, probably because he was in the Navy. And I love this face sculpt. It's just it's such a creeper face sculpt. It's perfect if you're gonna make a Joey Ryan custom. He's got his porn stash, and his lips are, puckering up because he's getting ready to kiss one of the ladies. His tights look freaking awesome. They're yellow with a bunch of red designs on here. They look like flames in some areas, and then in other parts it looks almost like a lava lamp. But it just looks hilarious. And it says heat returns on both sides of the legs. So that's kind of cool. So I guess it is supposed to be fire. But again, lava lamp, they are hot. And it's got a black design of his face on the front of the tights. Oh, Lord. And on the side of his boots, they say Simply Ravishing. Love it. Awesome. So happy to finally have this figure in my collection. Sadly, this wasn't in the box, but it was going to be in the box. I just forgot about it. Is this Jack's Pacific UFC title, looking pretty damn cool. I'm going to take the plates off of here and put it on a Mattel strap, and I'm either going to make or I'm going to purchase a Conor McGregor figure, and I'm going to buy another belt so that way he can have the double champ thing, because I got to admit, seeing that dude with 2 UFC title belts, that was pretty badass. Alright, so this is going to be the last figure on this episode of the Hall of Pain. Let's see who it is. And it is the Elite 46 Finn Balor. And I won't lie, I've been on the fence about wanting this figure because I've been saying it a lot. The Tokyo Demon, it's not one of my favorite designs of his. I know a lot of people love it, but for me, something about it is just a little bit off. I don't know what it is. Something just really bugged me. But seeing it in this action figure form, yeah, I just grew to like it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Hall of Pain. Thank you very much for checking out the debut episode. And there's good guy John, making sure Rick Rude and Naomi don't do something they're both going to regret. Really loving the Dudley Boys Elites, and I've really warmed up to that Tokyo Demon Finn Balor. Can't wait to review the Dudleys and Finn Balor. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of the episode down in the comments below. Like I said before, follow me on social media, like, comment, share, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Anywho, I'll see you guys later, and stay tuned to find out who's going to enter the Hall of Pain next. And you can follow me on my 3, 2, 1. So, what's the first figure we have on the Hall of Pain? 3, 2, 1. It was the 3, 2, 1. And here we have the 3, 2, 1. I love these knuckles with the word life. 3, 2, 1. I love the brass knuckles with the word life. 3, 2, 1.